Listen closely, this isn't another generic motivational speech. This is for the people who are tired of feeling stuck. Tired of watching life pass by while everyone else seems to succeed? If you're scrolling right now, wondering why some people get rich, why some people succeed, and why some people always seem to be ahead, it's not because they're smarter than you, it's not because they went to a better school, it's not because they were luckier at birth. The truth is simple. Attitude beats everything. The way you approach problems, the way you react to challenges, the way you think about your future, that is the single most important factor separating the successful from everyone else. Think about it. Every person you admire, every entrepreneur, every innovator, every billionaire you read about, they all share one trait above all. They see opportunity where others see obstacles. And that's exactly what we're going to break down today. The mindset secrets that can transform your life, your career, and yes, your bank account. Most people spend their lives trapped in invisible cages. They call it safety, planning, or following the rules, but it's really fear disguised as logic. Here's the harsh truth. The world does not reward fear. It does not reward comfort. It does not reward waiting for permission. Success, real success, comes to the person who acts despite fear, who keeps moving when the path is unclear, who solves problems when everyone else is complaining. And here's what most people don't understand. You don't need to have all the answers before you start. You don't need a perfect plan, a perfect schedule, or perfect timing. All you need is one thing. Your why, or your why is the engine that drives everything else. It's your reason for waking up at 5 a.m. when everyone else is still sleeping. It's the reason you put in hours of work nobody sees. It's the reason you study, experiment, fail, and keep going when most people give up. When you know your why, the how and the what start falling into place. You hire people to handle the parts you can't do. You learn, you adapt, you pivot, but the why, that is yours, and it is untouchable. Let me make this even clearer. Entrepreneurship, wealth, and success are all just solutions to problems. If you can identify a problem, solve it better than anyone else, and persist, you have the formula for success. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter where you went to school, it matters that you can see a problem, act on it, and stick with it until it's solved. This is the mindset shift that separates dreamers from doers. Most people wait for opportunities. Successful people, they create them. Now let's talk about the real engine of success. Problem solving. Here's the thing. Most people think entrepreneurship or wealth is about money, luck, or connections. It's not. Money comes after value. Luck comes after preparation. Connections come after effort. The truth, every successful business, every thriving career, every self-made millionaire, they all solved a problem that people cared about. It sounds simple, but most people miss it. They overcomplicate things. They chase trends. They wait for the right idea. They spend months researching while everyone else is executing. Here's how you think like a problem solver. Identify a problem. Look at the world around you. What frustrates you? What frustrates your friends, family, or colleagues? Where is there inefficiency, pain, or waste? Brainstorm solutions. Don't overthink it. Write every idea down. The first idea isn't perfect, it rarely is. Improvement comes from iteration. Execute relentlessly. Ideas without action are worthless. Start small, start today, and adjust as you go. Refine and scale. Once you see that your solution works, find ways to do it better, faster, and more efficiently than anyone else. Remember, the world pays for solutions, not excuses. If you solve a problem better than anyone else, you will dominate the market. If you solve it consistently over time, you will build an empire. Most people fail because they focus on the obstacles. Successful people, they focus on the solution. They see the same problem everyone else sees and they think, how can I fix this? Here's the next truth that nobody talks about. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Sounds simple, right? But most people ignore it. Take a minute and think about your inner circle. The people you text, call, meet, or hang out with most often. Are they dreamers? Or doers? Are they supportive? Or constantly negative? Do they lift you up? Or hold you back? If your 5 closest people complain, gossip, or make excuses, guess what? You'll start doing the same things. If your 5 closest people are ambitious, ethical, and solution-oriented, you'll rise to match them. This is why mentorship matters. It's why coaches and role models accelerate your growth. You don't need everyone in your life to understand your journey. You just need a few key people who believe in growth as fiercely as you. Here's how to audit your relationships. List your 5 closest people. Be brutally honest. Ask yourself, do they add value to my life? Do they challenge me to be better? Or do they drain my energy? Make adjustments. It's not about cutting people off cruelly. It's about protecting your time and energy. Sometimes distance is necessary to grow, and don't forget, your circle also affects your habits. Successful people don't just work harder. They work smarter because the people around them set high standards. Being around motivated, disciplined, and ethical people is like upgrading your operating system. You start to think differently. You start to act differently. So far, we've covered mindset, knowing your why, and problem solving. We've talked about who you let into your life because your environment shapes your destiny. But there's another truth most people won't tell you. Success demands sacrifice. The comfort you cling to today is the barrier between you and the life you want tomorrow, and that's exactly what we're going to explore in the next section. Now, let's get real. You want success? You want wealth? You want to be the person who doesn't just survive but thrives? Then you need to understand sacrifice. Success isn't about luck. It isn't about being smarter than everyone else. It isn't about talent. Real success comes from grit, the relentless, sometimes thankless effort nobody sees. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, you're going to give up a lot along the way. Nights out with friends, gone. Weekends relaxing, gone. Comfort zones, obliterated. Let me break it down. Every high achiever you admire has spent years doing what nobody else wanted to do. They traveled endless miles for meetings that felt pointless. They woke up before dawn. They stayed up late perfecting their craft. They failed over and over, but they never quit. And here's the kicker. You don't have to be a genius or a prodigy to beat people who are. You can outwork them. You can outlast them. Discipline and persistence are your secret weapons. Some people will tell you, it's too much. I can't do it, and here's the honest response. You're right, if you're unwilling to pay the price. The question is, are you willing? Think about it. What does sacrifice actually mean? It's not giving up your life forever. It's temporarily prioritizing what matters most. A few missed parties, a few weekends working instead of relaxing, saying no to comfort, and yes to opportunity. Those small choices compound. They build momentum. They create results that most people will never see. And grit, that's the fuel that keeps you going when everything seems impossible. It's the inner fire that tells you to get up at 5 a.m. even when your body is screaming, sleep. It's showing up day after day when failure seems inevitable. It's doing the work others refuse to. Here's a secret most people don't understand. The grind is often invisible. People see success, the awards, the lifestyle. They don't see the 3 a.m. flights, the endless hours of preparation, the 1,000 no's before the first yes. That's what separates those who talk about success from those who actually live it. So ask yourself, are you ready to pay the price? Are you ready to embrace discomfort? To outlast? To outwork? To outthink? Because nobody else is going to do it for you. Success is earned, never given. Sacrifice and grit are powerful, but they are not enough alone. If you're working hard but wasting your time on the wrong things, your effort will go nowhere. The next key to building extraordinary success is mastering your time. And that's exactly what we'll cover in the next section. Let's talk about something most people completely underestimate. Time. Time is the most valuable resource you will ever have, and yet most people squander it. They waste hours scrolling social media, stuck in endless meetings, or caught in conversations that go nowhere. Here's the truth. You cannot create more time. You only get 24 hours a day, that's it. If you want to be extraordinary, you have to master every minute. Start by asking yourself these questions. Do I really need that 2-hour meeting? Does this task move me closer to my goal, or is it a distraction? Am I investing my energy in people, projects, and habits that truly matter? The people who dominate their industries, the self-made millionaires, the high achievers, they are masters of time. They treat every hour like $1, every minute like an investment. Here's how you can do the same. Audit your day. Write down everything you do from morning to night for a week. You'll be shocked how much time is wasted on things that don't matter. Prioritize ruthlessly. Focus on the high-leverage activities, the tasks that generate the most value in your life or business. Eliminate the rest. Batch tasks. Group similar tasks together. Stop constantly switching between tasks. Multitasking is a productivity killer. Protect your focus. Turn off notifications. Set boundaries. Let people know when you're working and when you're unavailable. Plan for deep work. Schedule uninterrupted blocks of time where you can focus on your most important projects. This is where real progress happens. Here's a secret. Mastering your time is not just about productivity, it's about freedom. When you control your time, you control your life. You get to choose what matters. You get to choose who and what gets your energy. And that gives you a massive advantage over everyone else who is still wasting their hours on meaningless distractions. High achievers don't just work hard, they work smart. They know exactly how to maximize each day. They don't leave results to chance. They engineer their days for success. And here's the kicker. Even with the most disciplined schedule, you can still have balance. Sleep, health, relationships, they are not optional. They are critical fuel for sustained success. Time mastery is not about working 24/7. It's about making every hour count. So ask yourself, are you managing your time? Or is time managing you? Because until you answer that question honestly, all the effort, grit, and talent in the world won't get you far. We've talked about mindset, problem solving, your circle, sacrifice, and mastering time. But there's one final truth that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary: outworking everyone else. That's what we'll dive into next. Now, let's talk about something most people completely misunderstand. Success is not about being the smartest, the most talented, or the most charismatic. It's about outworking everyone else. Think about it. You may not have the highest IQ, you may not have the best connections, you may not have the perfect degree, but here's the truth. Effort is a great equalizer. The people who succeed, who dominate industries, who become legends in their fields, they simply put in more work than anyone else. They read more books. They listen to more podcasts. They attend more meetings. They travel to more cities. They make more calls. They show up when others sleep. They keep going when others quit. Here's the reality. Talent alone will get you nowhere. Luck alone will get you nowhere. But consistent, relentless effort? That's unstoppable. Let me break it down for you. 1. Consistency beats brilliance. Working hard every day builds results that sporadic genius cannot match. 2. Discipline beats motivation. Motivation is temporary. Discipline lasts. Showing up even when you don't feel like it compounds over time. Persistence beats luck. Luck favors those who are prepared. The more effort you put in, the more opportunities you create. Outworking everyone also means embracing failure. You will fail. You will stumble. You will be rejected. You will be ignored. But here's the secret. Every no is fuel. Every setback is a lesson. Every failure is a stepping stone toward mastery. And here's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary people. Ordinary people see failure and quit. Extraordinary people see failure and double down. You don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You need to be the hardest worker. Outwork your peers. Outlast your competitors. Outlearn everyone in your field. That's how ordinary people become extraordinary. Remember this. Talent can open the first door, but effort will take you through every door after that. Nobody remembers excuses. Nobody celebrates almosts. The world rewards those who show up, grind, and deliver every single day. So far, we've covered mindset, problem solving, your circle, sacrifice, time mastery, and the power of outworking everyone. But there's another key component that separates the wealthy from the rest: financial literacy. Because no matter how hard you work, without understanding money, your success can slip away. Now let's talk about something that most people completely ignore until it's too late. Money. You can have the best mindset, the hardest work ethic, and the perfect circle of influence. But if you don't understand how money works, all that effort can slip through your fingers. Here's the harsh reality. Most people are poor, not because they're lazy or dumb. They're poor because they weren't taught how to manage money. They don't understand the difference between assets and liabilities, credit and debt, or short-term gratification versus long-term wealth. Financial literacy is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter where you start. It matters what you do consistently over time. Here's what you need to know. Save before you spend. Wealthy people pay themselves first. They don't wait to see what's left at the end of the month. They set aside savings and investments before buying anything else. Understand the power of compounding. Money grows exponentially over time. If you invest wisely and consistently, even small amounts can turn into massive wealth over decades. This is how legends like Warren Buffett built empires, not overnight, but with steady, disciplined investing. Avoid high-interest debt, credit cards, payday loans, and other high-interest traps are the silent killers of wealth. Most people don't realize how quickly debt compounds. Avoid it like the plague. Invest in yourself. The best investment is knowledge. Courses, books, podcasts, mentors. All of these increase your earning potential. Live below your means. The rich don't necessarily earn more. They spend less relative to what they earn. Lifestyle inflation is the #1 reason people fail financially. Multiple streams of income. Don't rely on one paycheck. Build assets that generate passive income, whether it's a business, investments, or intellectual property. Diversify your earning power. Here's the truth most people don't like. There are no shortcuts. There's no magic app or crypto coin that will make you rich overnight. Wealth is built by understanding money, making smart decisions, and being consistent over years, not weeks. And the earlier you start, the easier it gets. Even saving a small amount each week, let's say $50 or $100, can make a massive difference over time. Compounding is like planting a tree. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is today. Financial literacy is not just about money, it's about freedom. It gives you options. It gives you control. It gives you the power to make choices that align with your purpose, your goals, and your life vision. So ask yourself, are you managing your money? Or is your money managing you? Because until you master this, all the mindset, grit, and effort in the world won't give you the financial freedom you deserve. Now that you understand money, let's tackle a myth that traps so many people. The idea of getting rich quick. Because if you want true wealth, you need to play the long game. Now it's time to address something that traps millions of people. The fantasy of getting rich quick. Here's the hard truth. Most get-rich-quick schemes don't work. They're flashy, exciting, and full of promises. But in reality, they are gambling disguised as entrepreneurship. Social media makes it look easy. Crypto spikes, viral apps, overnight success stories. But here's the reality. For every success story you see, there are thousands who lost money, wasted time, or gave up completely. True wealth isn't built in weeks or months, it's built over years. Decades even. It's boring. It's consistent. It's disciplined. Think about the richest people in the world. They didn't win the lottery. They didn't ride a meme coin to $1 million overnight. They invested, worked, and compounded over time. Here's how to play the long game. 1. Be patient. Wealth accumulation is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't get distracted by hype or shortcuts. 2. Focus on consistency. Saving and investing small amounts regularly is more powerful than trying to hit one big score. $100 a week consistently over decades beats gambling on a big win. Ignore hype. Avoid trends that promise instant riches. Whether it's a new coin, a viral stock, or a startup trend, ask yourself, does this have real value? Does it solve a real problem? Of course, you build real assets, businesses, investments, intellectual property. These create long-term compounding wealth. Temporary spikes in value may excite you, but they rarely last. Focus on your core skills. Quick rich schemes often promise money without effort. Real wealth requires skill building, discipline, and mastery of what you do. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people starting at the same time. One invests $100 per week into a stable investment for 30 years. The other chases the latest crypto meme hoping for a 1,000% spike. Which one is more likely to have real, lasting wealth? The answer is obvious. Consistency beats speculation every single time. Here's another truth. Slow wealth is boring but unstoppable. It doesn't make headlines. It doesn't go viral, but it gives freedom, stability, and the ability to create opportunities for yourself and others. If you're serious about success, you must embrace the long-term mindset. Forget the shortcuts. Forget the hype. Commit to building something that lasts. This is the approach that transforms ordinary people into millionaires, billionaires, and true self-made achievers. So far we've covered mindset, problem solving, circle of influence, sacrifice, time mastery, outworking everyone, financial literacy, and why the long-term game wins. Now it's time to bring it all together. The ultimate success equation. A blueprint you can follow to turn effort into extraordinary results. Now it's time to connect all the dots, to take everything we've covered and put it into a single, actionable framework. I call this the success equation. Here's the formula in simple terms. Success, Y, plus problem solving plus sacrifice plus time mastery plus outworking everyone plus financial literacy plus long-term mindset. Let's break it down. Why? This is your foundation. Without a clear purpose, all other efforts are scattered. Your why keeps you moving when everything else fails. Problem solving. Success comes from adding value. Every business, every career breakthrough, every life-changing innovation begins with solving a problem. Sacrifice. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Sacrifice hours, nights, weekends, and comfort zones to build the life you want. Handai Mastery. You only get 24 hours a day. Treat every minute like currency. Focus on what moves the needle. Eliminate distractions. And schedule deep work. Outworking everyone. Talent alone isn't enough. Effort, consistency, and persistence are what separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. Outwork your peers. Outlast your competition. Outlearn everyone. Financial literacy. Knowledge of money is power. Save before spending. Avoid debt. Invest wisely. Build assets that create long-term freedom. Long-term mindset. Forget the hype. Forget get-rich-quick fantasies. True wealth comes from patient, disciplined, and consistent effort over years. When you combine all of these elements, you're no longer leaving success to chance. You're engineering it. Here's what it looks like in practice. You wake up knowing your why. You focus on solving real problems. You work harder, smarter, and longer than anyone else. You manage your time. Like a CEO, you surround yourself with people who elevate you. You invest in your future while living below your means. You commit to playing the long game. Do this consistently, and you're no longer a dreamer, you're a doer. You're no longer waiting for luck, you're creating opportunity. Success isn't magic. It isn't luck. It's a repeatable system. And now you have the blueprint. We've talked about the equation. We've covered every mindset, habit, and strategy to dominate your life. But knowledge without action is meaningless. So now, we're going to turn this into a practical playbook. The exact steps you can start implementing today. Knowledge is useless without execution. You can listen to this entire speech, write down every word, and still stay in the same place if you don't tiny and take action. So let's turn the success equation into a playbook you can implement starting today. Define your why. Write down exactly why you want success. Make it personal, compelling, and non-negotiable. Ask yourself, if I failed tomorrow, what would I regret not doing? Identify problems you can solve. Look around your life and community. What frustrates people? What could be done better? Make a list of 5 problems you could solve right now. Pick one and start. Audit your circle. List the 5 people you spend the most time with. Ask yourself, are they lifting me up or holding me back? Find mentors, coaches, and peers who elevate you, people who embody the success you want. Cut. Sacrifice comfort. Identify areas where you are wasting time or seeking comfort. Commit to sacrificing them temporarily to invest in your growth. Examples: skip a weekend of TV to study a skill. Work on your business late at night, or wake up early for deep work. Master your time. Track your day for 1 week to find wasted hours. Eliminate non-essential activities. Schedule focused blocks for your highest value work. Protect your sleep and health. Efficiency comes from energy, not just hours. Outwork everyone. Set a daily minimum effort that exceeds the average. Read more books. Take more calls. Write more, and follow up relentlessly. Track progress consistently. Effort compounds over time. Learn financial literacy. Start saving a percentage of your income immediately. Open a simple investment account. Even small amounts matter. Avoid high-interest debt. Focus on building assets, not liabilities. Play the long game. Ignore trends promising instant wealth. Commit to slow, steady, consistent growth. Document progress monthly and celebrate milestones. Daily habits. Morning routine. Wake up early. Review goals. Read or learn. Work on high-value tasks first. Evening routine. Review progress. Plan tomorrow. Reflect on lessons learned. 10. Measure progress. Weekly. Track key metrics for your goals. Monthly. Evaluate your circle, your productivity, and your finances. Adjust and iterate. Success is a system, not a one-time event. Remember, these are not suggestions. They are requirements. If you want to move from average to extraordinary, your effort, your consistency, and your discipline will define your results. We've built a full blueprint: mindset, problem solving, circle of influence, sacrifice, time mastery, outworking everyone, financial literacy, long-term strategies, and daily action steps. Now it's time to commit, because nothing changes without action. We've covered a lot today: mindset, purpose, problem solving, your circle, sacrifice, mastering time, outworking everyone, financial literacy, long-term strategy, and a step-by-step playbook. Now here's the truth you need to hear. All of this is worthless if you don't act. Knowledge alone will not make you successful. Action does. Discipline does. Consistency does. Ask yourself right now, am I ready to commit? Success is not a wish. It's a decision. It's deciding to show up every day when nobody else will. It's deciding to outwork, outlearn, and outlast the competition. It's deciding to sacrifice today for the freedom and results of tomorrow. Here's what I want you to do. Write down your why in crystal clear. Non-negotiable. Personal. Q. Pick one problem to solve. Take the first step this week. And audit your circle. Surround yourself with winners, not complainers. Commit to consistent action. No excuses. No delays. And start small. Start now. Even $50 saved. Even 30 minutes of learning. Even one phone call. The difference between average and extraordinary is what you're willing to do that others won't. Remember this: the world doesn't hand out success. It doesn't reward talent alone. It rewards those who take control of their life, master their mind, solve problems, and execute relentlessly. You have all the tools. You have the blueprint. You have the system. Now it's up to you. Will you stay in the crowd complaining about circumstances and waiting for luck? Or will you step up, take control, and build a life that leaves people speechless, including yourself? The choice is yours. Decide today. Commit today. Take action today. And when you do, you won't just achieve success, you'll create a life that inspires, a legacy that lasts, and a story worth telling. Because here's the final truth: extraordinary lives are built by ordinary people who refuse to settle. That's the path. That's the system. That's the blueprint. It's your move.